Welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with a general reading for the sign of Capricorn for April 2025. My name is Carol, and this is a channel that focuses on you, and in particular, it focuses on your healing journey, your inner journey, getting back to yourself, and getting back to that person you were always meant to be. And in today's reading, I'm going to be using the Ehrenberg Tarot. I'm going to be using the Radiant Rider-Waite, and I'm also going to be pulling a card at the end for Shaman's Dream, an oracle card for you. We're going to be doing the Yellow Cardinal Cross today, and I like the Yellow Cardinal Cross because it really helps me focus in and hone in on an issue, a problem, a decision you have to make, maybe a pattern that's showing up. And I also am able to get some information about what you're aware of, like what's the conscious influence on it. And then I look at what the unconscious influence is, and that means I'm going to look at what's sitting in your shadow, what's sitting in your unconscious that is really impacting this, and you know, maybe what's preventing you from moving forward, whatever it is. And then we're going to look at what's needed for resolution, and I'm going to ask for guidance from the tarot at the end. And so I do want to say that I am offering personal readings for you if you're interested in that. And I have a selection of them, and one of them is this particular reading that I'm doing today. So the link for that will be in the description box below, also in my comment section. So I'm going to put you on speed shuffle right now because I need to set up your reading for you, and I'll see you in about 3 seconds. Okay, Capricorn, I'm back. So you are sitting in a tough spot right now. You have the Four of Pentacles to start off with. I was called, I like when, at the beginning of each reading, I'll sit and I'll kind of stare at my decks that are in front of me, and I'm like, which one is calling me? There was another one I wanted to use, my favorite one, and it was that wasn't calling me. And it was this one, because I love the depiction of this card right here. This is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is usually like, it's called the Miser card, and it's this individual that's holding on to a pentacle really close to their chest. And it's really, it's a card about, you know, you could say it's being attached to material things, but I'm wondering maybe that's what it is. But what's happening here, and this is a general reading, but you are feeling very much, there's some sort of attachment that you can't let go of. And, you know, maybe it has to do with money. Maybe it's, you know, for example, it could be you're in a relationship and you're wanting to leave it, or and then you're thinking, well, I can't because how will I ever make it on my own? And if you're relying on somebody for money, that's just an example. But this is just, it could be attached to a person for some other reason. But I'm seeing here that it's very much like, almost like you've given up, because that's just how much. And I know you're feeling like you've given up because you have the Eight of Swords. Look at this individual in an upright position. The Eight of Swords is about feeling all tied up. I mean, she's completely all tied up and she can't even see. She's almost like she's covering her eyes, and maybe she doesn't want to see something, but she's completely tied up and given up. And so, and that's the tough position I'm seeing you in right now, where it's like, maybe you've just shut down everything, and you know, you're quite aware what you need to do, what you have to do, but you're just feeling like you see no way out of this situation. And I was going to leave it at that. And then I went, no, let's have another card here, because I just want a little bit more. And you got the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups talks about this individual staring at these Seven of Cups that are on offer. And cups are about emotions. They're about our wishes, our wants, our desires. And I think like that's really coming into play here, where you're just like, you see like a bigger picture out there for you. You're desiring something more for yourself, and you know there's something else out there for you. but it's so cloudy for you. It's like, what? Because you've given up and you're feeling so tied up. This is actually a dissociation card for me, because this is a healing channel. And so when we are feeling so tied up, and when we think that, we can't get out of something, we are very much up in our head. And our ego is what keeps us up there, because it can convince us that you can't get out of this situation. It can convince you that to give up, because there is no way out. And so we go up in our heads and we dissociate, because we don't want to be in our bodies, because that's where all these emotions are about something. When you feel so tied up, when you feel like you see no way out of a situation, I'm going to tell you something that your ego does not want you to hear. And I'm going to tell you something that you're going to probably say, well, you're full of shit, because I know my situation and I feel like I'm very much tied up. Yes, you are. Yes, you think you are. But here's the thing. You can get out of this because you are an adult and you have choices. But when you feel like this, you are actually in a flashback. And your flashback is what happened to you in childhood when you couldn't get out of a situation because you were a child and you didn't have any other options. And so this is what's happening with you right now. I think you're in a real dissociative flashback where you think you can't get out of, and we'll get into that with when I get into the unconscious here, your shadow, and what went on maybe when you were a child, and when you felt like you were trapped when you were a child and you couldn't get out. And so what are you consciously aware of? Like, what's the conscious influence on this? What do you know? What's going on here? Well, you have the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles in an upright position speaks about, it's really a card of generations, and they just have taken a snapshot. This is what this deck does. It takes a snapshot of the Rider-Waite deck, and this is the grandfather. This is the wise one. And the Ten of Pentacles speaks about, it's a very much a generational card, because it has 3 different generations on the card. And it's very much a card that speaks about, it usually has like the Ten of Pentacles lined up in the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, which a card that speaks about our lineage. And so for me, because this is a healing channel, I associate this with generational trauma. And it's in reverse. And so because it's come up in your conscious influence, I'm going to say that you know that there is definitely some, we all have trauma in our childhood, but I think you know that there is some generational trauma that needs to be healed. And there's a real fear to going there. And I can see why you're dissociated, because you don't want to go to this. Because remember what I said, that you are in a flashback. And so it's a very scary place to go to, this generational trauma that needs to be healed. And I think you very much are aware that you've closed off all your emotions to this, including your fear. Like you're kind of keeping your real lid on this. This is the Nine of Cups. And he's what I call my spiritual bypasser, or my shadow bypasser. He's the one that says, I'm healed. Thanks. I don't want to touch my generational trauma anymore. I don't want to touch my emotions that need to come forward to heal. We heal by feeling all of our emotions. He's only at the Nine of Cups, and he's already put all of his emotions, lined them all up, and said, I'm done. I'm done. He's tucked away that 10th cup underneath that blue cover there. He's not going to touch it. He's pretty solid there. He's pretty content. I'm not touching it. And so I'm seeing that you're sitting there as one that's just like, nope, I'm done. I'm not feeling anymore. I don't want to touch this. Maybe you've been in therapy, out of therapy, haven't gone to therapy. It's just like, I'm not touching any of this. I'm not touching any of this. Then you have the Lover's card. And the Lover's card is a choice. It's a big choice. And it's in reverse here, because there is a real resistance to you making this choice. The Lover's card talks about these two individuals right here. And they're the masculine and the feminine side to us. The masculine side is our conscious, and it's what we're consciously aware of. And you notice how they can just see outwards, right? They can just see outwards. The feminine doesn't even look towards the male, the masculine. The feminine looks upwards to the divine. It's our feminine part of us. It's our own inner knowing. It's our own inner guidance that we all have. You have this intuitive sense. You have this inner guidance that will guide you, that will tell you where you need to go. But you need to go inwards in order to access your inner guidance. And it will be that part of you, that feminine side of you. We all have a feminine and a masculine side of you. Your masculine side's coming up here with the king. So we'll talk about masculine side, but the feminine side is that one that says, you know, you have a choice to go inwards. You have a choice to go inwards. You have a choice to get intimate with you, to get vulnerable with you, and to really make a commitment. And maybe you know this. You know you need to go inwards. You know it's time to heal whatever this is that's coming up, this generational trauma here that's coming up for you. That memory, I'm going to say memory here, of when you were younger, when you felt trapped and you couldn't get out of. So let's go look at this unconscious influence. This is going to be what's coming up in your shadow. This is going to be what you don't want to have to deal with. This is going to tell us about when you felt trapped when you were younger. We have the Queen of Pentacles to start off with. And the Queen is our feminine side. And it's very interesting here because you have the Queen and you have the King. And right in between you have the Two of Swords. So the Queen, let's talk about the Queen first of all. The Queen is the feminine side, and I already did talk about the feminine and the masculine a bit with the Lover's card, and she is the side of us that is repressed in all of us, and she's the side that deals with our emotions, our creativity. Queen of Pentacles is very, very grounded in her body. Very grounded in her body, not afraid to be in her body. When you were younger, and things happen to you, we go out of our body because at 4, 5, 6 years old, it's impossible for us. And even as an adolescent, when we have trauma that happens to us, and I'm talking about trauma because you have a generational trauma card here. When you have things that happen to you as a child, you don't have the emotions. You're not able to feel those emotions. They're too big. And so your inner children will take those on. Parts of you will take them on and store them in your body until you become an adult and you can handle it. And so something happened to you when you were younger and you got out of your body. You weren't in your body anymore. And you went up in your head. This card is the Two of Swords. It's about an individual that's completely up in their head. They've put blindfolds on. They've crossed these swords over their heart. You were hurt when you were younger. And so you've taken these swords and then you went, don't come near me. I'm up in my head right now. Because that's what the ego self, which is the king, that's what the ego does. It pulls you out of your body. You see, here's your Queen, where you were in your body. It pulls you out of your body and puts you up in your head because that's where it's safe. Because when we're young, it's not safe to be in our body anymore when things happen to us. Look at this too. Look at the emotions in the back. Look how they're flowing. There's lots of them. But you didn't want to go near your emotions when you were younger. And your king comes here and says, no, don't you dare touch those emotions. You're not going there. You're not going in that direction. You're not going in that direction. And so this is what's happened to you. You are stuck in a situation that you can't get out of. There's something that's coming up for you. And there's something in your life that's triggering you right now. It's triggering you. And you know that you're feeling very stuck. Because what's happened is you've come up in your head. And you're stuck in your head. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that Well, we can go up here, and I know what the resolution is before I even get to, I'm sure it's going to be right here. So I won't even say it because I know it's going to, you have this Knight of Wands, this Knight of Cups. This is the Knight of Cups. The knights in my deck are what I call my freedom fighters. They're a part of us. We all have this part. It's an adolescent part of us that wants to be free from pain, wants to be free from oppression, wants to be free from people controlling us. You know, this thing of control is coming up here. I mean, you have this attachment card. You're feeling quite attached, and I'm wondering if it is a sense of feeling very controlled, right? The knights want to move us, want to pull us. This part of this freedom part of us want to go towards our authenticity. Think of a teenager. They just want to be free, to be themselves, to be authentic. And so the resolution here is there's a part of you that wants to be free with this cup, wants to be authentic, wants to be free and have authentic relationships. And I think that's what's coming up with you right now with this feeling attachment, feeling attached. Maybe you're feeling controlled. Maybe you're in a situation where you're feeling very, very controlled by someone right now, whether it's an intimate partner, whether it's family, whether it's friends, maybe something at work, whatever. It's a general reading here, but you're wanting your authentic self. Something's pulling you towards your authenticity. Something's pulling you to get away from this oppression. Something's pulling you to the Ten of Cups. You had the Knight of Cups over here, where you've shut down, Something's pulling you to, what are these emotions you're feeling? What are you feeling? Do you feel anger? What's that 10th cup that you're supposed to take? What do you need to get out of this situation right now? This oppression, feeling tied up, feeling tied, you can't get away. You need to get angry. Maybe you need to get angry. Maybe that's the 10th cup. Angry at this person that's keeping you hostage. Whatever it is, the situation that's keeping you tied up, feeling you're tied up. You need to get angry. You're going to get angry at what happened to you when you were younger, because that's going to get you some clarity. And you know what else it's going to get you when you get angry? It's going to bring you towards your authenticity. Yeah, right now it's in reverse. You're not accepting this. But this is an offer from the universe. It's a gift. It's going, here's your sword. Here's your sword that's going to cut through all that bullshit. Cut through these ties that you have around your wrist, that imaginary feeling of, I can't get out of this, because you can. You couldn't when you were younger, but you can now. And here's the sword, here's the gift from the universe that's going to take you towards this authenticity, this freedom to be you, freedom to be authentic, freedom back to who you were meant to be is what this is pulling you towards. What's the advice from the tarot? What's the guidance? Well, here's the knight, another knight. You have two knights that are fighting for you, that are pulling for you, that are pulling for your freedom. This time it's the Wands. Wands is going into a purposeful direction. Wands is going in the direction that you're meant to go in. Here's this freedom that's pulling you towards there. Another freedom fighter pulling you towards. The universe wants to take you there, wants to take you in a different direction, wants to take you out of this feeling of trapped. And once you get you out of it, you'll know what to do. Once you get in touch with that 10th cup, that feeling of maybe you need to get angry at somebody, you're going to go towards where you're supposed to. 7 of Swords comes up next. 7 of Swords is the Thief card. You have this Thief card that's, and swords are your mental energy. They're the things that you tell yourself, the mental thoughts that go through your head. Things like, I can't do this. I'm not allowed to do this. Who do you think you are? You can't get free. You're not allowed to walk away. You're not allowed to put yourself first. All those things that you've learned when you were younger from people who tried to control you. Here they are right here. You're running away with them. Look at them. You're running away with them with the points in your hand. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. This is why it's called a Thief card. What are the thoughts you're telling yourself? What are you saying to yourself about this situation? I can't get free. I can't get free. Why not? You're an adult now. You have a choice. That's the Lover's card, the choice card. Here's the Three of Swords that came in sideways. Three of Swords again talks about, here's these three swords. You know, things that people told us that put a sword in our heart. Three of them, in fact. And cause a lot of pain. You have a lot of pain from childhood coming up here. There's a lot of pain that you need to look at right now. And the pain that you need to look at is, there's a lot of grief that's behind that. But in order to get to the grief, I feel like you need to get to your anger. I really do. You need to get angry to get yourself out of this. I'm going to leave you with a last video I did for you, Capricorn, and one of them is called Get Angry. You need to get fucking angry at these people, right? To get out of the situation that you're in right now. And I use a lot of curse words in that. I'm going to give you, it's the latest video that I made on my other channel called Carol Cares. And it tells you how to get angry. I show you how I get angry. I give you a lot of writing prompts in there that swear a lot. Because you know what? It's been a real difficult, anger has been my most difficult emotion that I've had to get to. I've had to get into anger in order to bring some real change in my life. I didn't pull you an oracle card, but I'm going to do it right now. So, let's pick one card for Capricorn. Just one card here that wants to come out as the final advice for Capricorn here. I'm going to go with this one right here. Fell right on top. Oh, no. This one's come up. Oh! You know what? I'm torn. So you're the only reading that I've allowed two to come out. You're special because... Okay, so we have, first of all, try not to read. So straddling worlds, wandering between realms, number 52. Beautiful card for you here. Number 52. So, and then we'll read Crown Games, Right Use of Power, which is why I couldn't turn that card away. It had the power there, and we talked about controlling in this reading. When the Straddling Worlds card shows up, it's an invitation to get used to living with one foot in your old world and one foot in the new. Wow. There's no going back to the way things once were, and what will be is not yet fully here. You must find the delicate balance that can bring you delight as you relish the past and all your memories, along with awe as you glimpse the astonishing, exciting future. So, do not wait for applause. Move on quietly, humbly, invisible to others. This card brings an invitation to begin not only a new chapter, but a new book in your life. Maybe you want to write a book. Do not break the news to anyone. Let people be as surprised as you are as you reinvent yourself. Wow. Wow and wow. So, 8 is Crown Games, Right Use of Power. There is a game of power played by all people, whether they're conscious of it or not. It concerns who has it and who doesn't, how to get more of it and not to lose that which you have, how to wield it wisely and not to get drunk with it and cause harm. These are the matters you need to ponder now that you find yourself in the crown game too. You want to be on top, the best, the most effective, the most beloved. You may discover that your deep desire to help others is disguising the underpinnings of this complex game. Power and all it entails can be both dangerous and productive, destructive and redemptive. Which will it be for you? Can you figure out without condoning and keeping your dignity when challenged? Will you be accountable, amenable, or to change, or making amends? Can you let go of your need to rescue others? Lead with humility while letting others discover their own way home. True power is stewarded wisely, for it is given from the divine, not from the ego. In all your relations, the greatest beauty is when power is shared. Ask for guidance. It will come when you choose compassion over your own goals and desires. When you stop caring about who wears the crown, true success and influence appear for you. Wow. Beautiful messages for you. I really think if you watch that video I put out there for you to how to get anger, I think you're going to bring in another needed emotion, which is grief. We need to grieve, you know. But you're going to get out of this. You can get out of this. You're an adult now. And so I want you to have compassion for yourself, Capricorn. This is definitely a difficult journey, getting back to yourself, but it's the most important one of your life. So take care, and I'll talk soon. Bye.